She carried the letter over to the dressing table, sat down, studied herself without interest in the mirror, and took out a sheet of paper. She unscrewed the top of her fountain pen, thought for a few moments, and then began to write rapidly. I am just back from an invigorating swim in the Serpentine with Kathleen. Her energetic crawl put my languid breaststroke to shame. Remarkably, we managed to pass an entire hour without any mention of her late husband or even the South Pole, surely a record. The water was deliciously cool, if crowded. What a summer this is, almost as hot as 3 years ago. I am so happy you're more cheerful. You will find a way through this Irish tangle, you always do. Dearest, I can't come to Otterleen's tonight, as I've promised Edward and the Cossack I'll join their midnight river trip from Westminster to Kew. You know I'd much rather be with you. But I'll see you tomorrow. All my love. Despite the speed of composition, her distinctive stylish calligraphy was clear as print. She, too, didn't sign her name. She blew on the glistening black ink, addressed the envelope, Prime Minister, 10 Downing Street, London, SW, added a penny stamp, and rang for Edith, her maid, German-Swiss, reliably discreet, to take it to the postbox. There were 12 deliveries a day in London in 1914. It would be in his hands by mid-afternoon. His reply reached the house at 8 o'clock as she was descending to the hall to greet Maurice Baring, her escort for the evening. She heard the flap of the letterbox. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Edith go to the wire cage. "Hello, dear Maurice." She extended her hand. He was rich, 40, balding, a man of letters, indeed a published poet, Forget-Me-Not and Lily of the Valley, 1905, now, alas, forgotten. He was wearing white tie and tails with a red carnation in his buttonhole. When he bent to kiss her fingers, his soft moustache brushed her wrist. She could smell his delicate lime pomade. Earlier, Lady Sheffield, baffled by her daughter's modern ways and increasingly concerned about her marriageability at the age of nearly 27, had asked if she was sure she would be safe with him. "Mamma, I'd be safe with Maurice if I was stranded with him naked on a desert island for a year." "Venetia! But it's true." Edith waited until her mistress was on the doorstep before slipping her the letter under cover of adjusting her dress. She opened it, sitting next to Maurice in the back of his car. A short note. It was headed 4:15 p.m., which meant he must have scribbled it either before he left Downing Street to see the King, or while he was at the palace waiting for his audience. "Don't, if you can avoid it, beloved, go on this infernal river trip, but do come to Otterleen's. Couldn't you even manage dinner there? It would be so nice. But if that is impossible, I look forward to seeing you there later on. Do try. Your own." She frowned. Infernal river trip. He might be right. She had had her doubts about it ever since she accepted the invitation, albeit for reasons different to his. The trouble with boat parties, in her experience, was that while one could get on them easily enough, it wasn't nearly so easy to get off them. And there were few things in life she detested more than feeling trapped. Maurice must have registered the change in her expression. "Trouble with an admirer?" "I don't have admirers, Maurice, as you well know." "Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that." She didn't much care for the tone of the remark, nor for the somewhat toothy leer which accompanied it. Dear God, had she been on the shelf so long even Maurice might be contemplating a pass. She said, "I suppose it's too late to chuck this whole boat trip business and go to Otterleen's instead." "What a peculiar thing to say. We haven't been invited to Otterleen's. And besides, the river will be fun. Everyone will be there." By everyone, he meant the Coterie, as they called themselves, or the corrupt Coterie, as the press preferred it. 24 or so friends, the number fluctuated according to some mysterious collective judgment as to who was amusing and who a bore, who went around together, sometimes to the Café Royal, occasionally to the music hall or a boxing match in the East End, most often to the Cave of the Golden Calf, a basement nightclub near Regent Street. "Yes," she said dubiously. "I suppose everyone will be." She stuffed the letter into her purse and snapped the clasp. She was not one of the Coterie's leading spirits. She did not drink like Sir Denis.